You can set your exposure manually on your camera with something called exposure compensation. You can make the image look lighter, which is increased exposure, or darker, decreased exposure. And you will find this on the Sony a7 III is a dial on top of your camera, and it comes in incremental stops, +3 to -3. It basically helps you override the automatic exposure adjustments your camera may make. So you can take control of your image's brightness by manually increasing or decreasing the exposure. The difference between exposure compensation and ISO, the auto ISO settings on your camera automatically sets the amount of light sent to the image sensor. You can use the exposure compensation to override this with the dial I've just shown you. Your camera may have the exposure compensation on a menu within your camera. The Sony has it on the top here. So basically your exposure compensation lets you override the exposure decided on by your camera's metering internal light meter. So it will help you darken or brighten your images in unique situations. If you want to know the science behind it, a camera's internal light meter works by evaluating light off of reflected subjects. So how do you know when to use exposure compensation? It's likely that you will need to use it in a very bright situation. For example, if you're photographing something within a snowy landscape, your camera may decide that the image is too bright overall and decrease the image's lightness. So you can use this to override this and brighten up your image slightly. Conversely, in a situation where it's really dark, your metering system may overexpose the image, and again you can use your exposure compensation button to decrease the light in the exposure that the camera has made. So exposure compensation can be adjusted in small increments, typically ranging from -3 to +3. It all depends on the camera though, and it can be accessed either via dial on top of the camera or from your menu system. If you've liked this video, then please do subscribe to my channel, like the video and share it, and I'll see you in the next one.